Hello and welcome to the Flipping Wholesale Houses in New York show. I am Michael Pinter, I'm trying to get my mic right. I'm Michael Pinter, where I teach you how to start flipping or wholesaling houses flipping houses anywhere, or if you're already doing how to grow your business. Get my mic out of the shop. I need a cup of water. Okay. So somebody asked me about price per square foot, and as I do a lot of times, I dismissed it and said it doesn't apply in New York. And then I realized there's a lot more to that. So let me do a video on it. Let me get some water. 1 second. I don't know why I'm always eating nuts before I do these live things, and I don't realize that I'm going to get all stuffed up when I talk. Okay. So in most of the country, price per square foot is the number one way you're going to comp out properties. What that means is that you're going to find comparable sales, so similar homes, what they sold for. You're going to have an easy time finding how many square feet each property was, and you are going to divide it by the square foot. So if you have a 2,000 square foot house, it's over $400,000. 400,000. That's $4 million. 400,000 divided by 2,000. It's $200 a square foot. Easy peasy Japanesey. And you're gonna take an average. So you're gonna try and find 4 or 5 comps, right? And when you're looking for comps, you're looking for similar homes, so similar square footage, right? You can't look for much smaller houses or much bigger houses, maybe within 10% of the square footage of the subject property. And you want them close, and you want them similar style and similar condition. So if your subject property is a disaster, you're going to want to look for houses that are a disaster. Now, you might be comping out what the ARV is, what the after repaired value is, and then you're going to look for a house that's completely redone. Now, that's how it works in almost everywhere. In New York, it doesn't work like that, and the reason is very simple. New York is all screwed up, and most comps in New York, most sold properties, do not have the number of square feet in them. In fact, when we have a new MLS called One Key, where Long Island sort of merged with Hudson Valley, so it's a very good. It happens to be a good, really good area that the new MLS covers. I think it's the worst MLS in the country. I've played with a bunch of them, but the area is really good. It really serves all of New York City suburbs. Even so, they said now we're gonna have square footage, but then they realized that in Suffolk County, there's 1.5 million people in Suffolk County, you can't easily get the square footage. Right now in Nassau, you can from the Nassau website, which is mynassauproperty.com, or LRV, I think is Land Record Value, LRVNassauCounty.gov. I don't know. You can go to mynassauproperty.com, and it gives you a square footage. Now, it's not always right, and it's not always right anywhere, right? Sometimes people add on square footage and don't tell the municipalities. That's possible. But in New York, all the comps that came until now never had square feet in them. So when someone calls me, and this happens on occasion, someone will call me and go, "Hey, you're selling a property. What's the square footage?" And I go, "I don't know." And they say, "I can't comp it out." Then I automatically say to them, "Let me guess. This is one of your first deals in New York. You're coming from another location." And they go, "Yeah, how'd you know?" Because everywhere else, and I'm talking about everywhere, California, Texas, wherever it is, they all know the square footage. And why? Because it's required when you list the property to put the square feet on it. It's pretty simple. And it should be required in Long Island too. But it's not. So there was this weird thing when we switched when we merged the MLSs to this One Key, where they said, well, we're going to require it from Nassau, but we're not going to require it for Suffolk, because Nassau, it's easy to get, and Suffolk is. In the end, they didn't even require it for Nassau. I don't put it in. And in general, when I'm listing a property, I don't put information in that isn't required, because, first of all, there's so many stupid pieces of information that are required. One of the reasons why our MLS is terrible. I have to put in whether it's an adult community every time. Well, how stupid is that? Why is that necessary? Everybody who's looking at an adult community can find that. I have to put how many fireplaces are in the property. I mean, is that the dumbest thing? Is anyone going to not buy a property because of the amount of fireplaces it has? And if they are, who cares? So much stupid information is required that I make it a point not to put in any information that's not required. So if they did require square footage, I'd put in the information from mynassauproperty.com, because it's there, whether it's right or wrong, and then I have a disclaimer. It basically says, don't hold me to any of this. I could be wrong. I take the taxes off that same site. Sometimes they could be wrong, right, if you catch it right when the taxes are shifting. So it's it's horrible, but they didn't even require it in Nassau County. They really should require it on everything. Now, how would you get it in Suffolk? I don't know. Get a freaking tape measure and start measuring if you have to. Whatever you got to do. The truth is, every town in Suffolk should have an idea of what the square footage is and post it on one site. Suffolk County is a huge pain in the ass to get data from. It's one of the reasons why I use PropStream so much, because I can't get that information in any succinct way for Suffolk. In Nassau, you really can. You can get the section, block, and lot. From mynassauproperty.com, you can get section, block, and lot. You can get accurate taxes. You can get overdue taxes. You can get square footage of what's on record. You can get a sketch of the house. You can get a picture. You can get a lot of information. In Suffolk, nothing like that. You have to go to each stupid town. Every town is different. Some towns suck, like town of Smithtown, which only lets you use it if you're the homeowner. Ridiculous. Our public data in New York is the worst. So in most places, it's really simple. You look at what similar homes have gone for, and you divide that price by the square foot. And they're going to be different, right? It's going to be a range. It's not going to be exact. One property can be $200 square foot. One property can be $210. One property can be $220. You take an average of it. Similar homes, and you say, okay, it's about $210. My property is 2,000 square feet. It's going to be 40,000. It's an easy way to do it. It just has never been required in New York, which is stupid. And they still, even with the new MLS, still don't require it. I personally think, I think our MLS should get completely revamped, really start from scratch, because it sucks so bad. I was all excited when I heard they're going to merge, because I thought they'd actually get better. Guess what? They didn't get better. I have access to more information, which I'm happy. I can comp out properties in the northern suburbs, right? Westchester, Dutchess, Orange, even Sullivan County, I can go look, and that's helpful. But the MLS is still the worst. The worst. I can't even compare to look at something in Florida, or you look at something in Chicago. It's almost unbelievable how bad our data is. It's fascinating. Now, so that's basically how square footage works, although it doesn't apply in New York. It doesn't. So how do I comp out properties in New York? I comp them out by looking at similar style homes. So I'm looking at a ranch. I'm going to try and look for ranches. Looking at a split. I'm going to try and look for splits. There's only like 6 types of properties. There's ranches, splits, colonials, capes. What else is there? High ranches. They're really only, probably with those 4, I probably encompass 95% of all the properties here. So I try and look for similar style homes. I try and look for similar bedrooms and bathrooms. And then I look for a condition. And obviously, I'm always trying to be as close to the subject property as possible. That's how I look at it. So if 4-2 capes are all going for $500,000 in a given area, and somebody comes to me and says, well, this one has an extra room. I'm like, I don't really know how to give that value. I might give it a little value, but this is an extra 400 square feet. Most people in New York are just not thinking the way people think in other parts of the country. Other parts of the country, they are honestly asking before they get there, what's the square footage? And then they have a number in mind that they want to pay per square foot. Just not the way people think in New York. In New York, they're looking, how much are capes going for, with these bedrooms and bathrooms. Oh my God. So that's the way it works. But it's a simple system, and it makes the most sense, by the way, square footage. It actually does make the most sense. Where it gets complicated is where there's square footage that's not shown by the municipality doesn't know about it. So if you watch like HGTV, you'll see they'll go, oh, this has a 400 square foot, but it's not on there. That's an issue if people are really figuring out what they're going to pay per square foot. It's less of an issue in our area where so many unpermitted additions and things go up. People don't think of it that way. They're like, okay, it's a bonus room, right? Maybe it's worth a little more than the next property that they're asking X. I'll pay a little more than X, but there's no real form. It's not very formulaic. It just doesn't work that way. It's not the way people think in New York, because there's no way to really figure out what the square footage is on other properties. And because it's not required to be put into the listing, people don't know what it is, and they don't think about it here. I hope this was helpful. If you're interested in all the ways I can help you, go to howtoflipnewyork.com. If you're interested in a study at home program that teaches how to do what I do, it's called a course, although I have to change the name. It's called you can get to it at howtoflipnewyorkcourse.com. COURSE. If you're interested in finding out more about one-on-one coaching I offer, please go to coaching.howtoflipnewyork.com. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're watching on any channel, please click the thumbs up. It's really been helping me. I know it's weird that you click like and then 1,000 more people see it and 10 of them watch it and they click like, and it's been a lot more people have been watching my videos lately. So please keep clicking like, and please keep the comments coming. I post 5 times a week. I don't always know what to say. Your comments give me ideas. You can ask any question you want. It does not have to be about the video you're watching. I try to respond to comments within a day or two. If it's something simple, I'll just reply with an answer, which is what I did for who sent this one? Can you make a video? Growing pain. I don't know who you are. And I wanted to just dismiss it and say it really doesn't matter here, but the truth is it's a good question. So if it's something new, like growing pain, if it's something I covered recently, I'll send you links to videos on it. And if it's something new, I will do a brand new video on it. So thank you very, very much for watching. I really, really appreciate it.